Nani?
Basquera say,
Magadini.
we are the Katiyos.
Today we're discussing a hot topic. Do guys know or understand the word no in 2022? So let's look at what you guys had to say on Instagram. According to you guys, 73% said nah, guys don't understand the word no. 27% said yes, they do understand the word no. So that's 45 votes for no and 17 votes for yes. And in total, the post was seen by 213 people. I'm going to be representing the males, of course, and she's going to be representing the females. Tell me what you think about these results.
I think it's somewhat accurate. The reality is the minority always, I guess, sways the majority. There is a minority of men who don't understand what no means, and they sort of ruin it for everybody else.
Okay, how is a man supposed to understand no, the difference between no and try hard?
I mean, if a girl, if you come to her and you say, can I have your number? No. Maybe you can just give me your Twitter? No. Your Instagram? No. Your this? No. Okay. Next thing, you're following her, you're stalking her, you're this, you're going into her DMs after she's already said no. That's a no.
Okay. I grew up hearing many stories from men in the community about how their wives did not show any interest in them whatsoever. But now these people are married with like 10 kids. I grew up hearing this. So I've been hardwired as a guy to push and to not believe that no literally means no.
I mean, I have heard of those stories as well, but I think it's kind of dated.
It's not dated.
Like things they did
when?
40 years ago.
When?
40 years ago.
I know people who got married like within the last 5 years who would tell me that, listen, I approached this girl, she said she didn't want me. I would call her, she wouldn't answer my calls. So I would get my friends to call her, then I would jump on the phone. But now they're married with kids.
See, that's borderline stalker behavior.
But they're married with kids.
Maybe she has this,
What?
She's fallen in love. What's that syndrome called where you fall in love with your capture?
No, mate. So it seems maybe sometimes women don't know what they want.
I mean, yeah, but you can't force someone into a decision.
But how
you're literally like...
Listen, how do you explain someone saying no, and then that same person now has 4 kids or 3 kids with that same person? They said, get away from me, don't even walk in the same road as me. I've heard stories like that a girl would say, if you see me walking in the same road, turn around and go in the opposite direction or change sides. I don't even want to walk on the same side of the street with you. But now they're married.
Well, because you can change your mind, You can change.
So then if people can change their minds, how am I meant to know as a guy?
You can't force someone to change their mind. It should happen gradually.
Yes.
Not that you have inserted yourself there by force and you have forced someone to change their mind.
Now that's the tricky part. If I come to a girl and I say, hi, I'd like to get to know you. No.
Then
how do I know that is a definite no? Or I can be like my uncles and my cousins who then married the person who told them no.
I mean, if she says no, and you there's a difference between saying, hey, can we hang out? And
No, but I'll give you a first example.
okay.
What?
Then she said no.
Yeah.
Leave her alone. She said no. If you see her again somewhere else, you can come say hi. How are you? You are just representing yourself, but you're not forcing yourself. You didn't stalk her to find out where she's going to, and then go to that party and then go
Yes.
oh God. No.
One of my friends says just because of one man did it doesn't mean all man are in the same basket. So it doesn't mean all men are creepy and stalkerish. Someone said no because guys sometimes forget women have standards. What does that mean?
I mean, you could not be at her standard. You know, you could be.
Yeah, but how do I know?
Maybe she's some, Christian girl, and you
I've heard many of stories where the guy was not a Christian, then he kept coming to the church, and now he's an elder, and they're maybe.
Yeah, obviously, if he's coming to the church, that's different. If he's coming to the church, he's coming to.
But he wasn't. He wasn't. He's only starting to come because of her.
And then obviously it happened gradually. It's not like he forced himself on her.
Someone said no because guys don't want to know the truth. They're in denial that they're being turned down.
Sometimes they are in denial. And that's why you keep going, and it becomes quite abusive and borderline stalkerish.
Sorry, the same girl also said, also they don't understand no because some women don't usually mean it when they say no. There we go.
I would like to assume that these days, most women, when they say no, they mean it.
Well, clearly not, because this is a girl from this day. This poll was not posted.
For me, when I was out in the world and was not married or in a relationship, when I said no, I meant it.
Someone said, guys take no as her saying convince me.
Which it shouldn't be like that. Because if you take that out in the normal world, if the police said no, convince me, try me. I mean, I don't know, man. It's not convince me at the end of the day.
Well, sometimes it is, because the people have told you, their wives said no to them, but now it seems they're very convinced.
Well, I think back in the day, people were.
What do you mean back in the day? It's like five years ago.
It seems like people are a little bit more aware that no means no. If I'm saying no, I'm saying
this
no.
Is a girl from this day. This is not a poll from 10 years ago. Another girl said, girls don't mean it. So what are you talking about?
Maybe she doesn't mean it. The same way that you say some guys don't understand, some guys do. The same way some girls mean it, some girls don't.
All right, another guy, this is a guy, he said, hell no, reason I don't associate with girls. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's tough. Because sometimes girls give you weird mixed signals. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
It's true. In my experience, when I've asked out people in the past, one girl told me, hey, no, you're like a brother to me. Then another time she's, acting like she likes me. So how am I meant to know which is which?
Oh, clearly she was confused. She didn't know what she wanted.
Then if she's confused, how am I meant not to be confused?
Well, I don't know.
Another girl said, guys don't understand no because it doesn't resonate with their egos. Another girl said I don't know why they feel so entitled. All right, tell me about your experiences. If you had a situation where you've told a guy no and he understood and left you alone. No, if you had a situation where you told a guy no and he just kept coming and it wasn't very cool.
I've had many situations where I think, if anything, all the situations where I've been picked up have been where I've said no and they've kept going. I've had situations where I had to give my phone number over because they asked for, can I have your phone? No. Can I have this? No. Can I have this? No. Can I have this? No. Well, this is getting really awkward. how about I'll give you my phone. You then call me, and so then I know it's your number. And you just do it because you're like, well, I don't want to get kidnapped, you know? So you just give your phone number over. I've had circumstances in certain areas, which I will not name, part of Melbourne, where I have been stalked.
What do you mean you've been stalked?
I have been stalked.
Can you give us evidence?
He followed me in my car.
Start the story from the start.
The guy saw me walking.
Where?
I was at uni walking to my car.
Okay.
He was driving past. He saw me.
So he's driving and he sees you walking.
He sees me walking to my car. Then I get in my car. He stops. Then he's like trying to have a conversation with me.
So he's still in his car?
He's still in his car. He's trying to have a conversation with me. I'm like, nah, I'm not interested. He looks like he could actually be my father. And I'm like, nah, not interested. Like, bye-bye. I get in my car. I start driving. Then I see this car is following me.
What if it's going in the same direction?
No, mate. Is following me. Then he parks behind me. I can see him in the rearview mirror like, stop, like, you know, stop. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm definitely gonna keep going. Then he keeps following me. Then he gets to a point where we're like side to side. Then he's like trying to get me to wind down the window. Yeah. And he's like, wind down the window. I'm trying not to look at him. I'm just staring straight. As soon as the traffic light goes green, I drive. I keep going.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, I've already said, nah, I'm not interested multiple times, like in sign language, as well as my body language has been very explicit.
Okay, yeah.
Then he gets to the point where we're at a traffic light.
Another
He's
traffic
behind
light.
Me.
Yeah.
He comes out of his car
to walk
at a traffic light. He walks to my car, starts knocking at my window, asking me to take down my window. At this point, I'm starting to panic. I'm starting to freak out. I'm very uncomfortable. Then as soon as the traffic light, I'm like this, not even looking at him. He's like knocking at my window. As soon as the traffic light went green, I drove off. I called my dad, panicking. And I was like, Dad, this man is following me. He's been following me for a while now. He came, he's knocked at my window, and my dad starts laughing. He's like, oh, you know, that's what they do. You know, African men, they take no as a yes. I'm like, no, this is making me very uncomfortable. He's like, if you're uncomfortable, drive to the local police station.
Exactly.
He won't follow you there. I'm like, I shouldn't have to. My body language, me saying no should have been enough.
Anyway, there's a girl who voted yes, that guys understand the word no. And she said, I think generally as people, we don't really understand each other anymore. What do you say to that?
It's true. I think these days people don't really get each other a lot. There's a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of, you know, as well as people don't really speak these days. Like,
I mean, what kind of speaking are you meant to do with a stranger?
That's what I mean. That like, it's not even these days. It's like, you know, people, oh, you're so icy or whatever. Next thing, you know, oh, whatever, some whatever in thing, and then you know you don't really talk to each other. It's like some form of whatever.
What are you talking
language
about?
That
anyway, I have no idea what you.
Because you're not in on the language.
No, anyway, someone said, this is a guy. He said, no could be yes, so it's confusing. Because we are told as guys that we have to pursue. If you're pursuing something, it means it's running away from you. And we are told that if a girl comes and says yes, she's too easy. Or if she makes a move on you, she's too easy. So what do you want us to do?
I think in pursuing, you also need to watch body language. Watch for, you know, cues and things like that. Is this, you know, going the way that I wanted to go, or is it not? Because if you give the example of what I told you, if he was pursuing...
I think that's a bit much. That's a bit creepy.
He was pursuing, yes, but if he had watched my body language, how I was reacting, he would have seen, okay, this pursuit is not going the way that I wanted.
Okay, another girl said it's not only in 2022, but guys have never understood. It's just in them to harass, abuse, and disrespect. Another girl says, I think it means try harder. And then there's a fine line between the real deal and playing hard to get. Exactly. How do you know? This is such a fine line.
That's why I said, in your pursuit, you have to make sure you watch. When a lion pursues, what do? They don't just start pursuing.
So do you think there's a difference between a girl you know from uni, from church, from the community that you see often, and she says no to you, and you don't force it that same day, but you gradually win it over? Is that what you're recommending? Like in the case of this guy, maybe he was worried that he's never gonna see you ever again, so he needs to really pursue. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think that's why I was saying that, if she says no, that's fine. Give her space, leave her alone.
What if it's like you met her in the road and you're worried you never see her?
Then let her go. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. If it is, you'll see her again. That's how the world works.
Another girl said you could tell a guy no and you come up with a solution to revoke that no. E.g., you can tell him I have a boyfriend.
Yeah. Many times I've said I have a boyfriend. I just want to be your friend. Your friend. That's okay. I can be your boyfriend's friend too.
What? Someone said they can be your boyfriend's friend.
Yeah, remember that guy that I had to give my number to, and you were the one and he called when we were together, and you answered, and then he hung up.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy. We're still dating. Yeah. Okay. Now I want you to educate us as guys. How do we know between hell no and try again?
Hell no.
Have you ever given a try again to anyone? Ever? Or you've never given a try again? You've always been a very straightforward person.
I'd like to think I've always been very straightforward. So I'm not the one that you can get advice from in terms of being a little. I've always been very straightforward. So, but in terms of my advice is for you not to do what that man did to me.
Yeah.
That is polar.
Oh yeah.
That is one side. Then the other side is a very healthy balance.
Okay.
And when I say pursue, I'm saying I can give the example of a lion.
Okay.
When a lion pursues, they do not just attack.
Yeah.
They don't just run around and attack and get all up in the antelope's face and whatever, because they're not going to get anything. So, they sit, they watch. They prowl as well while they're watching the surroundings and the situation. In your pursuit, watch the situation. You don't want to get a restraining order put on you because you're doing too much. Pursue and watch. If you see...
So are you saying study your prey? Well, you're using the lion. The lion studies its prey, looks around.
Yes, the lion studies its prey.
Makes a careful approach.
And watches the situation. If the lion sees, from my understanding of when I've watched Animal Planet, if the lion sees that there is no point in going for the antelope at this time, it won't do it because it's going to hinder the rest. Because now the antelopes are going to flee because they know there's a lion, so they're going to run all over the place and dinner is gone.
So what are you recommending? Are you recommending that we guys just stop trying to pick up any girl in the street?
Any girl in the street.
Pick up girls that they sort of know.
Exactly. Not that you know, but that you know, I guess, that you know, and that you have some form of understanding with them as well, that you can read their cues. Because at the end of the day, you could be harassing some girl that you found at the club. Next thing, you're getting a call
from the police. A
restraining order is being put on you because you couldn't read the cues that she didn't like what you were doing.
Okay. I've always heard this in Christian circles, and I want to know what's your take on it. Apparently the gentleman thing to do, if you see a girl is to say, hi, how are you? I'd like to get to know you. Here's my number. And then that way, the girl has the final say. So you've given her your number. Then if she calls you, then you know that she might be interested in getting to know you. If she doesn't, that's it. Instead of you asking for her number and,
bombarding her,
making sure it's the right number and calling her Papo, the gentleman thing to do is, hello, how are you? I would like to get to know you. Here's my number. If you're interested in getting to know me, please give me a call.
I think that's the best way to go about it, because it doesn't put that pressure on the girl, because these days you don't know what people are going to do. Sometimes you say no, next thing ukutukwa, they're yelling at you and they're telling you off because you didn't give them your number. Some people can be very aggressive, so women are always gonna submit for the sake of their safety, and I've done it as well multiple times.
So you've given out your number for the sake of peace? For
the sake of peace, because then I'll be let go, rather than staying there and trying to negotiate with someone. I can just
who's not getting it.
I can just give my number, they'll call, and I block it. Or they're gonna call me anyway, I have the number and I'll block it. If you give her the number, first of all, you're saying I'm respecting you, as well as you're giving her that opportunity to reach out to you. That way you know that she actually
it's mutual.
Is somewhat
you're
interested.
Meeting in the middle.
If she doesn't call, she doesn't call. That's it. Nobody's wasting their time. You haven't lost anything really.
And I think as guys, maybe we need to be patient. I remember there's a saying in Shona that, savime unesauti, like, don't look at the meat like it's already been cooked, and it's you already have your salt. So I think maybe we need to be patient. Like, this person doesn't know you, doesn't like you yet. You don't even know them to know that if you can really form a lasting relationship with them. So you gotta just slow down. You're a complete stranger to this person. So you can't expect them to let you into their life that easy. And just chill. Just chill, guys. Chill. So in summary, what do you want the guys to take away from this? And how can the girls protect themselves in this modern day and age?
To the guys, I say, just watch. You have intuition, you have wisdom, you have the Holy Spirit too. All those things together will tell you a lot of things. If you can tell she's uncomfortable, you're making her anxious, and she just does not look like she's interested, 99% she's not interested. So keep it moving. So keep it moving, because it's not nice, especially as a girl, to be in that circumstance. And though we sit back and it's funny to tell the story that I tell, at the time
you were very traumatized.
It was very traumatizing for me. And to the girls, I would say, make sure you are very clear with your intentions. I know it can be hard sometimes, even though if you're clear and you say no, I'm not interested,
So are you saying girls who are interested shouldn't just give the aggressive I'm not interested, because it's adding to the confusion in society?
To the confusion. If you're interested, take his number, show that you're interested. If you're not interested, say you're not interested, be as dismissive as you can be, so that he understands you're not interested. And in those situations where someone's aggressive, what's the best way? In those situations where someone is aggressive, the best way, I would say, if there's someone around you or anything along those lines, probably reach out to someone who is around you. If someone is getting aggressive, if you're uncomfortable with the situation, just give them your number. You can block them. You can always block. It's better for you to lose a number than, I don't want to say to lose your life, but it's a bit much, but it's better for you to lose your number. You can always block, you can always change your number, because you don't trust everyone. Not everyone is nice. All right, so there you go. This was a very hot topic, and we hope you guys have learned a thing or two. It's really actually opened my eyes to, the fear that we can instill in women sometimes in our aggression. And I think it's definitely something that guys ought to change.
Leave it up to her. Give her her number, walk away. And slow down. Take it easy. Take it easy. There's no rush. Anyway, this is from us to you. Take care, guys. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.